Welcome to the Perfect Podcast Show on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. I'm your host, Keith, and I am still here trying to make the perfect podcast. I'm still trying to do it. Until then, I cannot leave this room. I'm literally locked in until I can get out of this room. So I'm really trying to make a perfect episode. I've had episodes that have been fun. They've been informative. They've been cute. They've been a complete mess, but none of them have been perfect. And I'm just trying to do a perfect episode. You know, that's all I'm trying to do. Just a perfect. Why is it so hard? Make a perfect episode. That's it. Perfect. Means nothing goes wrong. Everything is perfect. What's the definition of perfect? Everything goes right, I guess? I guess it's subjective, though. But, you know, when it's perfect, you just know. Anyways, we got a phone number set up here at the Perfect Podcast Show. You can call in, leave a message, give me some tips on how to make it perfect, give me some compliments, or actually you can call and just say, you know what, this episode you did, not this one currently, but I mean, if you want, yes, you can say a certain number episode 15 was perfect. All of my friends say it was perfect. Then maybe I'll be able to leave. You know, you can call and give some helpful tips like that. So let's listen to a call now. This call is not a live call. This was a call we got earlier. So the call can't comment on this current episode. But if you're watching this, you can call in and comment on this episode and we'll play it in a later episode. Anyways, let's play a call. Hi there. Thanks for calling the Perfect Podcast Show. Leave your message and we'll play it on the air. How was that? Does that work?
Hi, it's Stephanie, and this is for the Perfect Podcast Show. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I went to a party last night and accidentally walked into the wrong bathroom. It was a closet, okay? And I stayed in there for like 5 minutes because I was too embarrassed to come out right away. And then I used it. But not like went to the bathroom, but like to wipe my hands. Oh my God, I should have said this before. I went to find a bathroom to wash my hands because I shoved my entire face into the guacamole bowl and then wiped my face off with my hands, so they were covered in avocado and whatever else people put in that dip. Someone finally opened the door, and I just pretended I was looking for something, but their clothes were covered in green slime. Oh gosh, please don't put this on the show. I just needed to confess to someone.
Thanks for the call. It's not helpful at all. Again, like, call in, give me some tips. Try to figure out where I'm locked up and maybe you can come and rescue me or tell me it was a perfect show. That would be best if you can do that. You know, that would be helpful in some way. Since there is a phone number to reach the outside world. I hear birds outside, but it could just be a recording. I don't know. Anyways, before we get to my guest today, we have an ad that we're going to play. We got to have that ad space. Very real ads like stamps.com or Better Health. But ours are better stamp. They're better ads. And absolutely not me recording them. They're recorded by a professional. Anyways, let's listen to one of them ads. Presenting Paul's Pasta Palace, the paramount place for palatable pasta prepared with passion and precision. Pamper your palate with our perfect pasta dishes, packed with premium peak of freshness ingredients like fresh parsley, kitchen-prepared pesto, prosciutto, and definitely not spit. Plenty of our patrons have pondered as to why their plates appear to be populated with saliva and spit. But we are perplexed. Paul's Pasta Palace is the perfect place to pause and partake in our picturesque patio, where patrons can peacefully partake in their pasta while people watching. Paul's Pasta Palace presents a perfect place for parties as well. We do propose putting on ponchos before stopping by Paul's Pasta Palace, but not because you perhaps will be pulverized with spit, but only so you can plan to be perhaps plenty pleased with your clothing pick. So don't procrastinate, pay a visit to Paul's Pasta Palace and prepare to be pleasantly surprised by the plethora of pasta possibilities and not spit. Okay, there you go. There's a nice ad. You can contact that non-existing phone number of business and get stuff from them. Really true real ad, real advertisement from a real business. Okay, today's episode, I'm very excited for this. We have a brand new guest on the show, and I think this is gonna be perfect because of what this job, this person does. Feels like it's gonna be positive and perfect show. He is a camp counselor at Kids Camp United. Kids Camp United. Okay, cool. And he just loves the outdoors, and he loves helping out kids and enjoying the camp life. Please welcome my guest, camp counselor John Smith. Okay, welcome to the show, John Smith. Wow, look at you. You're at camp right now.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely. One of the best parts of the day so far, including everything else today, you know?
Really, this right here is one of the best parts. That's great.
I
wow.
mean, it's one on a long list of best parts.
Oh.
You know? I look at everything that I do every single day as the best thing I do that day. And that gets me through to the next day. And then the next day, it's the best thing I did that week. And then the next day, best thing I did that week.
Wow, that's super good way to look at things. So every single thing you've done is the best.
That's right.
You wake up, that's the best. You have breakfast.
No, I don't want you to get me wrong. I'm not doing the best.
Oh, okay.
Like when I chop wood, I'm not the best wood chopper. There are much better wood choppers out there. But it's, for me, the best part of the day when I do chop wood until I do something else.
So when you're done chopping wood, is that then the best part of the day?
When I'm done chopping wood and I take off my hat and I go, that's the best part of the day.
Wow. And then when you walk away from the wood chopping area, it's
the best walk I've ever had.
Ever had. Wow. Ever.
Yeah.
Wow. So some parts
because if it's the best part of the day, but that day is the best day of my life, and that week is the best week of my life, and that life is the best life I've ever had.
Wow, that's such a good outlook. I mean, wow, that's so let's
appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. So how long have you been a camp counselor?
Well, I mean, officially 4 years, but I've been a camp counselor my whole life. I've always been a camp counselor, just like you've always been a podcaster.
Well, I mean, I think I've only been a podcaster when I started the podcast. So what's your definition of camp counselor? Because to me, a camp counselor is someone who gets a job at a camp to be a counselor.
Sure, the job is part of it. Sure, the getting money is part of it. Sure, but also just being out in this wilderness, helping kids, helping adults, helping bears, helping the wilderness. That's part of being a camp counselor.
Wait a second. You're helping bears? What do you mean helping
bears? Anything that comes my way, my friend.
Okay. Well, that's good. So you've been a camp counselor your whole life, which means you've been in the wilderness your whole life?
Some, or I've been in the city as well, but that's my wilderness sometimes. I've been in a supermarket. That's my wilderness when I go there.
So wherever you are is wilderness and the best part of your day.
That's right. You got it. You're getting it.
That's great. Okay, so your day to day, were you chopping wood today, or what are some of the activities you did today?
Oh boy, I got up, I swam a little in the lake.
Oh, great.
That was the best swim I've ever had and the best lake I've ever seen.
Yep, I saw that coming.
I ate some eggs, made by some of the camp kids. They're working in there in the kitchen. It's like an activity. We did some painting earlier. I was going to say finger painting, but they were using all sorts of things. They were using paint brushes. One kid used a stick. Ate some hot dogs for lunch.
Multiple hot dogs.
Oh yeah, I had 4, maybe more.
That's a lot.
Each one was better than the last.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Were those made by the kids in the kitchen as well?
Not in the kitchen. Out on the barbecue.
Okay, you got a little barbecue going. Had multiple hot dogs.
We got a barbecue. We got you can see we got a fire over here. That's for the stew.
That's right. Oh, you got a stew for dinner.
We got a stew for all the meals, but we're going to eat it for dinner.
Oh, because it's the action of stewing. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna eat
Yeah,
it.
that's what I mean.
Okay. And
Yeah, but
then
also it's just always there.
oh, it's always there.
It never runs dry. Our
Oh,
stew is always a flowing.
that's good. And I imagine tonight when you eat that stew, it will be the best stew you've ever had.
The best stew I've ever had.
That's okay.
Yeah. The one last night was phenomenal.
So, from what you said, it doesn't sound like you really helped anyone today. You ate their food, you went swimming. It sounds like you just sort of
I
like
think just
enjoyed.
being around helps, right?
Yeah, usually the camp counselors lead the kids in things and they're in charge of stuff. It sounds like you're just kind of enjoying the camp.
You know, they really need me these days, you know? Like, it just makes me happy seeing them working in the kitchen, starting the campfires, putting up the tents, fixing my car. I got a little bit of a accelerator issue going on. I accelerate and it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, so you have a broken car that the kids, is that part of like automotive shop or something?
Yeah, you could say that. It's I mean it is automotive. So yeah, you could say that.
So it's not an official camp activity for the kids?
Yeah, we're at camp. It's an activity. They're doing it. Yeah, I mean, if you're saying that like beforehand there was a syllabus that had fixing my car, no, we don't have a syllabus here. We just go about our day making sure that everything that we do is the best that we do. And the best thing that we did that day. That's
right, the best thing, and it sounds very enjoyable. So like you
should come.
Yeah,
you should come to the camp.
It sounds great. I gotta ask, like the other camp counselors there, what did they do today?
Oh, well, it looks like Steve's over there in a hammock. Hey, Steve. Hey, how's that hammock? Giving me the old thumbs up.
Okay. So there's another counselor just hanging in a hammock.
Yep. I don't see any of them over here, but there is a dance going on.
Okay. And
there's like the kids are all playing some instruments over there, and the counselors are all dancing in there, getting their groove on.
Wait, the counselors are dancing? It feels like shouldn't be the kids who are dancing. And the counselors
might be dancing, but the kids are all busy for the most part right now. I mean, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. They've got their work to do.
That's okay. I was gonna say, like, is it the end of the day? Is it it's an overnight camp, right? So kids are there all day.
Yeah. They sleep here. They put up their tents right there. They sleep there. We've got a motel. It used to be a motel. Now it's for the counselors, and we've got we refurnished the beds because the beds that were in there they just weren't that comfortable. Okay. So we made sure that they are the most comfortable beds that we've ever been on.
That's right.
That day.
That's right.
Yeah.
So there's a motel off grounds of the camp where the counselors stay and the kids stay in tents.
I would say that the camp is on the grounds of the motel.
Because everywhere is a camp. Even if you're downtown in a city, that's a camp.
That's right. That's right. Also, the camp is in the parking lot of the motel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Parking lot. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I was younger, I went to an overnight camp for a few weekends and I did like a day
camp. How'd you like it? Oh,
it was
man,
fun, but it sounds a lot different. It sounds like this camp is like the kids are sort of working for free and the counselors are on vacation.
No. It's not free. All the parents pay a fee at the beginning so that their kids can come to camp. Unfortunately, we would love for them to come for free. Absolutely. But unfortunately, we live in a society that's capitalistic, right, and you just can't do things for free. So these parents are paying a premium for their children to come to this wonderful camp.
And so they pay to go there and do chores and work while the counselors just like hang out in the motel, don't do any actual
Not
work.
always in the motel. Not always in the motel. We've got the lake
Right.
where we're at sometimes. We've got the dance hall,
It
which
sounds
is also
flipped. Like normally the kids would go and they would enjoy these things, but it sounds like kids are going to work and counselors
the kids
are
are enjoying it so much. You should see the smile on these kids' faces. Always smiling. The biggest, best smiles you've ever seen.
Right. And if it wasn't, just to see if I'm following, if it wasn't a smile, if it was a frown, would you still say that was the best smile that you've ever seen?
I would say that it's the best smile and the best frown I've ever seen.
Okay, so they maybe are not smiling.
You've seen some good frowns, right?
Yeah, it's just okay. I thought this was gonna be a fun camp, but it feels
it's
like
the best. It's the greatest.
Feels
camp.
like a weird camp. Are you drinking a coffee there?
Yeah, it's coffee with a little cocoa in it because it's nice and cold out here sometimes.
That's nice. Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?
Francois over here runs the coffee corner. We have a cappuccino machine here.
That's right. And I gotta say,
donated by one of the parents.
Oh, how old is Francois? Is he?
I think he's 12.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so.
Going on 30. You know.
Yeah. It sounds like this is a strange camp where it's not a regular camp, but it sounds like you're having fun. I'm having the best day of my life. Wow. Okay.
The kids are having the best days of their lives.
And you're paid to work at this I should say, at this camp.
You can do that all you want, but yeah. Yeah, it's the best job I've ever had in my life.
Well, I mean, it sounds like the best job where you don't actually have to do any work whatsoever.
Oh, I do so much. I chopped some wood earlier.
That's right. You did. Did you though? Or did a kid chop wood and you watched?
Well, like I said, I'm not the best at chopping wood. But when I did it, it was the best time I ever had until Boris had to come over and finish.
And how old is Boris?
Because I just wasn't doing that well, and you should see Boris do it. He's very good at it.
Yeah. And how old is Boris?
8.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, well, thanks for chatting.
Yeah, thank you. This was a blast.
Yeah. What would you say the best podcast you've ever been on?
This is the best podcast I've ever had. And let me tell you, I had to have Carlene come over and hook this up to the back of the car because we don't have a lot of electricity out here in the parking lot.
That's right. And how old is Carlene?
4.
Yeah, okay. You have a lot of ages at this camp. Thanks
for all ages. You could come.
Yeah, I could pay to go and do work. Well, thanks, John Smith, for being on the show and chatting.
Oh, thank you.
It was very unexpected.
Spread the word. Let everybody know that they can check us out on the web or just pop on by.
Pop on by. All right. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for being on.
All right. Thank you. You have a good one.
You too. I know you will.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was interesting, to say the least. It did feel like feels like he was like a camp counselor, but then I don't know, things started to get a little weird. It sounds like he's there, but like the kids are doing all this like free labor, and the camp counselors just hang out all day. I don't know. Something about that didn't sit with me right. Love his attitude though. That's a great outlook on life. Every moment of your life is the best, which means, everything is the best and you always have more best to look forward to. That's great. But I guess if you're just like hanging out on vacation at a camp, then, and you have the most comfortable beds, then I guess that is pretty nice. Well, this has been the Perfect Podcast Show, and this has not been a perfect episode at all. But thank you for watching. I'll try again next week, every Tuesday at noon Pacific time on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. I have been Keith and am still. See, if this was a perfect episode, I just ruined it. So anyways, we'll see you next time.
Let me tell you about the podcast show called The Perfect Podcast. Don't you know? Airing every Tuesday, it's the place to be. Hosted by Keith, funky as can be. Now people call it a podcast, but they got it all wrong. The funk is so strong, it's like a party song. They strive for perfection with every episode, but they always end up with the funky overload. The perfect